We have the average coupon returns, we have the average maturity dates.
Okay,
we
well, I
have
won't
the
bother with
average
you.
Prices.
Okay,
We
my
have all
central
of that.
point is,
That only has to generate as much as it can.
at one, exactly. And
We have a lot of money there.
And we have to have a public disclosure of this, whether it's semi-annually or quarterly, to the council, open to the public. But my central point is that, you know, Don, you had a concern about increasing the mooring fees. I think we have to explain to taxpayers, yes, this is a fee, but also there is going to be taken out X amount from what your tax dollar from the account.
Well, but see, I'm looking at this, and my concern is the fact that these numbers are conservative, and that's the number of bags, or they're not. I think we really need a program this. I don't have a problem with allowing somebody to put a bag of trash out every week and picking it up and sending it to the landfill. Those are reasonable numbers. We should be charging that person who's exceeding a limit, and that limit be, let's say, the 1 bag a week. You know, they're paying for that in their tax dollar. We're charging them, and I think you said it's roughly $2 per household per week. Now, we're already charging them built into the tax rate. Well, that's putting a barrel out with your recyclables. I don't want to eliminate that, but you put it out there. If you want to put more in the landfill, then you pay for that extra because it's going to make it close faster. And I think our program should, you know, it's kind of a modified pay-as-you-throw. It's allowing you to do something, and you pay for the excess. I have yet to drive by and see too many houses with just 1 bag outside. There's a lot of, well, we're getting to that elderly, but we're getting to, no, without a page. I'm talking about currently, you go by and there's 4 or 5 bags. But we're talking about a lot of people having a lot of tough times, and we're trying to be as reasonable as we can with those people. And my concern is that that's allowing that elderly person to be able to put a bag of trash out and not charge them for it. So, I mean, currently what they're paying already. Because if not, if we take the money like your suggestion, that we're going to charge you pay-as-you-throw on every bag, then I do agree that we have to have some kind of an offset that's, you know, going to come from that, because you should get some money back if I'm collecting enough money to run the program.
I think the problem with yours is, the whole program is, look, is persuading people to recycle as much as you can.
Yes.
And you keep that concept and incentive, because if they have to buy a bag, they are going to make sure that they've folded their milk cartons and done all those good things. But I do think that there should be an offset.
If I can just briefly address 2 of these. One, we actually made a specific note on page 5 of the proposal, and I think this is something that has to be looked into with any program that we look at. Quote, the town council may wish to consider some form of low-income household programs. And I think that's something that we have to look into in any contract. I think we have to assure ourselves that we'll get a certain percentage of free bags, and we'll get a certain percentage of discount bags. The details of that, we didn't go into.
Exactly.
I accept the concept. The other issue that Ms. Derby has raised, and I think this is an important one. Realistically, if somebody takes a look at this proposal, as Ms. Derby has suggested, and her suggestion was 3 years we have our money, that may be pushing it.
It may be. I can see that.
But I recognize that if you went through this, and you may find that within a few months the experience will show, yes, we're going to meet our goal and we'll do better than meet our goal. My suggestion would be, we've presented this to the public over the last few months, and perhaps over the last few years, as an answer to the problem of meeting the goal of capping this landfill someday, the expenses that we're going to incur, the expense perhaps of a transfer station someday. If I were to make a suggestion, it would be, at this point, we should give every assurance to the taxpayers that every penny is going into this restricted account until we're all really satisfied we've met our goal then maybe we can look back and say, okay, we have some other ideas. We kept the $2, $1 bag. The program seems to be working. It looks like we'll meet our goal. The state has pushed back our date by a year. Then we look into something else. But you know, it begins to sound more and more like another tax. Once you say, well, let's use it for this, and then let's use it for that, and a little bit here and a little bit there. I think that's an issue that really has to be raised well down the line, where the public is satisfied we've served the primary purpose.
Well, the primary purpose should be, you stated the figures in this, that the primary purpose is we've got to increase that $168,000 payment by 200,000 or 200. There's a number associated with this, and that's the point. If you do this over the period of time till the anticipated closing date of 2015, there's a specific number you would have to put to reach the goal to have the top number in the capping. And I think, as Louise is saying, that that's the numbers that should be going into this program, and not saying we're going to just put every dollar from this restricted program into this, and that fund may be where, and then in 2 years, if we get to $8.2 million we might need for capping, we'll decide to do something else with it. I think that's like...
We're not going to get there.
Well, no, I'm just saying, whatever the period would may be, we're talking about, well, we're still only talking in a 5-year period.
Basically,
Mr. President.
Yes.
If I can
Yes.
intervene here. I'd like to make several points. The first thing I'd like to do is note the hour and the length of the agenda of several other important things. So I'd just like to note that. Secondly, I think it's important that we keep in mind nobody has addressed the issue of the fact that we're working for a moving target. I've been associated with the town for several years, and the cost of closing the landfill has steadily escalated far, far faster than our contributions. We've kept it at $168,000 for a long time to be thrifty, probably foolishly thrifty. But nobody can tell me what it's going to cost to close the landfill 5 years hence, because the regulations change every year. And to the best of my knowledge, those regulations have never, ever been reduced. The regulations always get tighter, more expensive. So I think what we need to do is focus on the objective of playing catch-up on the landfill closure amount. Put every penny from pay-as-you-throw into the restricted account for closing the landfill. If it turns out that we're generating a lot of revenue, then we can make an adjustment. We can lower the price, any number of things. But right now, to be thinking, well, we're going to put this money over here and we're going to increase it over there, we're kidding ourselves because we don't know what we're aiming at. We have a lot of assumptions and very few facts. The only fact we have is someday the landfill is going to close, and it's going to cost us a lot of money, and we don't have a lot of money. So let's concentrate on building up what we can, which is build up the money to meet the unknown cost of the future. If it turns out that we generate a whole bunch of money, fine, we can make an adjustment. My last point is that I'm not in a big hurry to take money out of anybody's pocket right now in these times. I'm never in a hurry to take money out of people's pockets, but certainly not now. And I know many people that are really struggling in these times. And we say $1 here, $1 there. Well, it doesn't sound like much, but unfortunately it really is. Thank you, Mr. President.
If I may, Mr. President, I think we've spent a good hour and a half, and the information that we've collected tonight has been excellent. I'm looking forward to reading the minutes of this meeting, and I hope the minutes will be as comprehensive as they possibly could be. But I think, and I would make a motion to this effect if and when you think it's appropriate, that we continue this public hearing also to January, maybe the second meeting in January.